Hey everybody, Brian here with S-Tech. This video is going to be a quick setup tour of my office. Show you guys the tech that I am working with currently, computers, a couple other things that I have in here that I use. Um, I'll be honest with you, I have a pretty modest setup, although I do think it is very functional. Um, but people seem to dig these setup tour videos, so I figured I'd do one. One thing that you're not going to see on this setup tour is my phone, because I use that to do my recording. It's an iPhone 6s. It is pink, of course, and I think it takes adequate video for the size of my channel and my purposes right now. So I'm actually holding that in my hand, so you're not going to see it in the video. But you'll see everything else, and stay tuned for that.
All right, well, here we are. So I just kind of wanted to open up this video showing the side of my office that I really have not very much to do with maintaining. This is actually my home office that my company provides me. I do work from home. I have a full-time job, and this is where I type away at that Lenovo laptop all day. So I don't really want to talk very much about this side of the room because it's not really tech. But I did want to point something out. This printer, it's an HP OfficeJet 6700 Premium. I've had it for a couple of years, and it's probably the best printer I've ever owned. For some reason, printers just kind of crap out on me after a year, maybe 2 years. They just stop working. I don't know if anybody else has that problem or what, but it seems to be kind of a recurring issue. And this one hasn't given me any problems. It still works great, and I have no complaints about it. So if you're looking to get a printer, I don't know, go with HP, sure. But the first thing that I kind of wanted to get into here was this chair. This is a DX Racer chair, and it's only a couple weeks old. Let me kind of spin it around here so everybody can kind of get a better look at it. So there's a kind of a story behind this. For a couple of years now, I had this chair. This is an office chair from Staples. I don't know that it has a model or anything like that. It's just an office chair. It was fine. It was giving me some problems with my back and my neck. And then what happened was, one day I came and sat downstairs to do some work, and the hydraulics failed, and I was 6 inches lower than I was supposed to be. So I couldn't really work that way. In addition, it has some normal problems with the leather. Everything is kind of cracking over here, and this padding is still okay, but it's compressed a good amount, and it's because of my ass, but whatever. So when that day that I couldn't raise the chair up anymore, I had to get another one. It wasn't really an option to keep this because I couldn't work at such a low height. So I went on to DX Racer's site, and I found this chair. Now this is their most, I guess, modest looking chair. I guess it's the most. It's a chair that most closely resembles what you'd find in a regular office. It's all black. It's leather. It doesn't have any crazy racing or gaming accents to it. But is it comfortable. The lumbar support is excellent. The headrest is something that I never really used before. I never really used the headrest, but I never really had a chair that was this tall before. It is very wide. I guess I'm not a small person, but this chair is much wider than I need. The arms, even though they look like they're pretty hard, they're actually kind of a little squish to them. They're good. They adjust in all kinds of crazy different ways. And I have nothing but good things to say about this chair. I would buy it again, and I would recommend that other people buy it. DX Racer, you have my stamp of approval. Thank you very much for the chair. So moving on to my desk, basically this monitor I've had for a couple months now, but I wanted to talk a little bit about it. This is the Acer CB280HK. This is a 28-inch 4K display, and it actually replaced an Apple Thunderbolt display that I had. Now I'll get into that. Maybe I'll get into that in a later video. But regardless, this display kind of had some big shoes to fill. While the Thunderbolt display is priced a little high for mainstream displays, I actually found the color reproduction to be almost perfect on that. And the crispness of the images was not something that I was happy to be letting go of. This display does a really good job of filling that void. I know that right now that MSI logo in the middle of the screen looks a little washed out. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's just the video processing here. But in real life, that is a very red dragon going on in the middle of that screen. It really does a good job for a monitor, a sub $500 monitor. I mean, this cost me $450 on Newegg with free shipping. So, I mean, it cost a lot less than that Thunderbolt display that I was replacing. It's a bigger monitor. It's compatible with more devices, and I game on this monitor. It has a 2 millisecond response time, and I have had no issues at all with it. It's a 60 hertz monitor, so if I'm pushing more frames than that, sometimes I get a little tearing. Sometimes. But maybe I'll overclock this at some point, and maybe I'll do a video on that. But for now, it's doing a really good job, and I'm really glad I got it. 4K content looks amazing on this display, and I would recommend it. I have it VESA mounted to the wall. As you can see, there's no stand. But the stand that it came with was sturdy, and I had no problems with that. I just wanted it on the wall. So yeah, I recommend this display. These 1, 2, and 3. That is part of a Logitech 2.1 surround sound system that I don't even know the model number for anymore, because I've had that for over 10 years. They still sound great. The sub still hits really hard. Everything is nice and crispy audio. I know that people might give me some flack about the speakers being above my head, but honestly, if I sit up straight, this is me sitting up straight with the camera at eye level. I mean, they're above my head by, I don't know, a couple inches. It's not a big deal. The audio sounds great. And I don't see any reason to switch, to be honest with you. There's a lot of audio systems out there, like Rocket makes some really nice monitors that I've considered buying, I guess. But there's really no reason to switch. They sound great, and they're not malfunctioning at all. And I have them, so there's no reason for me to get rid of them, so I'm going to keep them. Logitech makes some pretty good equipment, and this is not an exception. This is a Thermaltake Poseidon RGB keyboard. It does not have Cherry MX Brown switches. It has their own, they call them blue switches. I don't know if Thermaltake makes them or what, but it is still very nice and clicky. The Cherry MX Browns I've found to be almost too loud. They're too clicky. I don't know if that's probably not a very popular opinion, but I prefer something that's a little less annoying to type on. I still like the responsiveness here and the click, but I also like that these are non-proprietary keycaps. So if I break one or wear one out, I could just replace it with anything normal. I don't have to order it directly from Thermaltake. That's a problem with some of the Logitech gaming keyboards, is they have these crazy concave design on the keycaps that you cannot replace with regular keys. So don't go mashing your Logitech keyboard, because it'll cost you extra money to replace them. So I like this keyboard. I recommend this keyboard. It's not the best keyboard. I will definitely say that. I think that the Razer keyboards are probably better, but they are also about twice as much. This keyboard cost me less than $100, and it's full RGB, and it works great. This is the Logitech G602. This is a wireless gaming mouse. Now, let's see if I can get this to focus. G602. There you go. I know I might catch a little flack from people about having a wireless gaming mouse, but to be honest with you, I'm not a competitive gamer to the point where I need something that's wired to hang with everybody else. If I miss a frame here or a frame there, or it doesn't track 100% accurately, it's fine by me. This does a really good job. I mean, I had this before I had the wired keyboard, which is why I installed the little cable block back there. So, you know, I could always, I guess, get a wired keyboard mouse if I want to and just stick it through that grommet. But I really don't see any need to. I really like the ergonomics of this. The thumbs, the place for your thumb is actually very comfortable. Fits my hand really well. It's got a bunch of programmable buttons on the side that I really hardly ever use. But you know, the functionality is there if you want it. The scroll wheel is good. I don't have any complaints about this at all. So I'm not going to switch. There's really no reason to right now. Works pretty well for me. And this is, as this Rosewill gaming pad, I would recommend for anybody that has that wants to keep their desk clean, but especially if your desk is glass like mine is. Before I got this pad, this desk I would have to clean every day. I spend a lot of time down here between gaming and my regular job, and I tend to eat lunch down here. You know, in addition to whatever else is going on, you get fingerprints on the glass or what. This gaming pad or this desk pad or whatever you want to call it, it cost me $22 at Newegg. It's great. I mean, it's just like a giant mouse pad. It protects your desk. Everything sits on it. It doesn't move around. It's pretty sturdy. I mean, it does a good job for what it is. It's nothing special, but I mean, if you have any kind of a desk that attracts fingerprints or grease or anything like that, this is the way to go. And you don't necessarily have to get the Rosewill one, although this one works out well for me. I mean, it kind of goes with the color scheme I was doing with my system, which is what we'll get to next. So this is my personal rig. I'm not going to get into what's in here right now. I want to do a whole other video on that. Also the build process and whatnot, but it is a pretty custom system. I did a lot of work here. I have a lot of hours into the system, and it's not done. I guess it'll never be done, but it really plows through games. I mean, I will tell you that there is a 980 Ti in there, and I'm getting some really ridiculous frame rates. You know, I mean, I'm coming from a much lesser system, so maybe this is just to be expected. But yeah, I'm very much happy with this system, and I'll tell everybody about it at a later time. This is a little perk that I didn't even know that I was going to get. That's a DX Racer extra large mouse pad that came with my chair. I had no idea that came in the package, and it kind of goes really nicely on the corner of the desk. That is Loki. He's my little kitten, and you can't have him. So, moving right along, you see down here, this is kind of part storage for stuff that I have used in the past, or stuff that I plan on using. There's some Apple stuff in here because I do have a Mac that I'll show you in a minute. There's a case fan there, Hyper 212 Evo that I had before I had my water cooling set up, and a hinge dock, which is also from my Mac. I won't get too much into that stuff. This area is kind of where I throw all the stuff that I haven't yet gotten to building with. So let me just go through some of this stuff. These are Scythe or Scythe, however you want to pronounce it, Slipstream 12 millimeter fans. They are crazy thin. They're less than half of the width of a normal fan, and they're supposed to push enough air to be usable with radiators. We will test that because that's what they're here for. I have a radiator set up in my system. I want to see if these work because being able to put them in smaller cases and fit them in tighter spaces would be fantastic if the cooling is there. So we will find out. Here's some extra PETG tubing from EK, some zip ties back there. some EK fittings, cable combs, new 120 Coolstream radiator from EK. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with this. I ordered it without really having a plan for it. I may put it in my system. Who knows? We'll see. Some pastel white coolant. This is nano coolant, and some cables from Ice Mods that I have also in my system. The black, white, and red color scheme looks pretty slick. And I'll kind of go over this and get into this a little bit more when we do my system breakdown in another video. So as you can see from my system, I do like water cooling. I'm pretty into water cooling. This is my, well, if you're doing water cooling, you need gloves. You will burn yourself. And you will burn yourself on this. This is just a heat gun. You can get this from Walmart. That's where I got this one. This is a reamer. This is used for cleaning out the inside and outside of the tubing before you install it. This is a Bondo spreader. This is used for something completely different than what it was originally intended for, which is to spread Bondo on cars. I have this because I do some auto body work on my Mustang, but I don't use it indoors for that. I use it for something completely different, which is installing vinyl, and we'll get into that when we do my system build. This is my custom jig. I built this to help me bend tubing, and it's come in so handy. I know you could buy these for like 50 or 60 bucks, but I wanted to build one because I like building things. These are your 90s. This is, you insert the pipe here and you bend it around. This is for big bends. This is for smaller radius bends, and then it has the ruler on there just so you kind of see how far you're going. And then down here, this is for S bends. The pipe goes in between, and then you bend it. One way goes up and the other way goes down, and you make an S bend. I kind of maybe want to add on some things to this jig, but honestly, I wasn't able to bend tubing nearly as well without this as I am with it. It comes in really handy. This is my Canon MP495 printer under there. I never use this. Like I said, it's kind of not doing so well. It's a cat tower. But I just want to point this out to you. Now, this is shooting right into a light source, which is not really recommended. That's a lamp, okay? That is from Walmart. It cost me 20 bucks, and that's what I use to light myself when I record videos. I put a, it's kind of like a shower curtain material, just like kind of frosted and clear over it, and it gives a nice soft light. I mean, you got to have something, right? I mean, I'm not a professional at this, and that comes in handy. Just really quickly, this is my DJ setup. I used to be a DJ. I've sold a lot of the equipment. It was very expensive, and it really wasn't doing very much. So I sold a lot of pro audio gear and things of that nature. But I still keep this stuff because I still do gigs occasionally, and I like messing around at my house. This is a Newmark 4-track. It's a MIDI controller. I've never used a MIDI controller that I like as much as this before, and I take it with me when I do clubs and stuff like that. This is my late 2013 15-inch Retina MacBook Pro. It is completely spec'd out and has all the upgrades, and I love this machine. I know that some people rag on Apple for being overpriced. I don't agree with that. Apple products tend to retain their value, and the build quality is second to none, and this machine, even though it's a couple years old, still is extremely fast. It's what I edit my videos on, it's what I produce music on, it's what I DJ on, and I would not get rid of it for anything. This is definitely worthwhile purchase. Below I have some of my sets of DJ headphones. These are classics. These are Sony MDR V700s, and oops, sorry, kind of out of the picture there. They don't make these anymore, but they still sound really good. And obviously they're still in one piece. These are probably 15 years old. This is what I use now. These are the Pioneer HDJ 2000s. This is kind of like the new standard in DJing. Pioneer produces a lot of high-end equipment. They're pretty slick. I could actually, maybe I could even wear these out if I wanted to. I don't, but I could. And they sound fantastic. Lots of nice padding in here, and the construction's all metal and whatnot, and they fold in all kinds of crazy ways. This is an Oxygen 25 keyboard. This is a MIDI keyboard. You pump audio signals into it, and it can spit them back out at all kinds of different tones. You can modulate all the sound. You can control all kinds of different parameters. I used to use this when I was producing music. I don't really do that anymore. I was not particularly good at it. I guess maybe I was okay at it, but it's not really worth me devoting as much time as I was to it. It's just kind of a hobby now. It's a pretty cheap keyboard. It's only $100, but it does its job. So that's about it. Kind of seen my whole office now, including my cat. But we're up on 20 minutes on this video, and I kind of want to cut it here. So thanks, YouTube, for watching, and leave a comment, hit the subscribe button. We're going to be talking about that system quite a bit. I want to review some of the components that are in it, and also kind of give you a breakdown of how I built it. Maybe show you some water cooling stuff at some point too. All right, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.